Welcome to the Dr. PhilGood show. Our weekly broadcast on trauma recovery, cellular health, and real-life healing from the inside out. This series is proudly sponsored by the Patrick Risha CTE Awareness Foundation, whose mission is to prevent CTE through education and early intervention.
And where she left off is where I'm supposed to pick up. But watch this. I can do it. I can do it.
You're supposed to put it down so that I can see where you
A
are.
mission that's critical for families
there.
like ours, navigating brain injury, behavioral health, and long-term caregiving. And let me tell you something, folks. There are some obstacles, but you can get around them. We did. Didn't we, Fru?
And they helped us. So please visit stopcte.org to learn more about the Patrick Risha CTE Awareness
Oh, this
Foundation.
was a I just busted in on Patrick Risha CTE
Hey,
Awareness
everyone.
Foundation commercial.
Welcome back to Dr.
Gotta be the best
PhilGood.
brain damage commercial
David
ever.
is here.
I'm here, guys.
Right now in body, and I'm gonna pray that he'll be here in spirit.
Yeah,
as
I'm doing
well.
all right. I'm having a hard one today. Last three Dr. PhilGoods, if you go back, the intro is excusing my behavior.
All right, so we're David and Fru Carson, trauma survivors, caregivers, and holistic
Entertainers. as I was saying, we gotta
health advocates. Or wellness. I like to say wellness advocates. And I'm looking
Hey,
this Healing Touch Wellness
You know how we
workshop
all have
flyer
self-talk?
in front of me.
Oh,
Of course, we all
my
do.
thoughts
Yes.
thinking. Let me talk it.
Okay, well,
talk
your
it out.
thoughts will have to be quiet.
I will, but you got to let me get one out. Hang on a second. Now, if you correct what I was just thinking through, what was I just? She did it that quick. Just all right. So we'll just do what you want. Come on.
All right, so here we speak
That
the truth about what it takes to heal from the inside out in real life. And so David here is having a moment because this is the month of November, and those of you who
Funniest
have been
month of the
listening,
year. I hear.
you
about
may
it.
know that he's got this annual periods, I should say, not just one, but
Me and Sammy are on the same.
you guys will have to
on the
go
same
back
calendar
and
days.
listen another episode or all of our episodes. I don't know.
I'm doing it. I'm still here. You know
Well,
that.
today's episode was inspired by a conversation with our friend and fellow wellness coach Tiffany Latrice, who said that the number one struggle she's seeing in clients over the last 4 years is stress, chronic, unrelenting stress.
Well, of course.
Well, isn't it what everybody's been dealing with
of
since you
course. I
can
mean,
remember?
let's just
Well,
call it
actually,
stress.
not since you can remember. Like
We're in the era of the comfort, and stress. Stress is killing everyone because they're so comfortable.
you think it's the comfort that causes the stress?
Well, I look at what happened in my life. I just want to apply this stuff in my history.
Oh,
and
this is all applied to traumatic brain injuries and
Absolutely.
trauma surviving and neurodegenerative diseases. So while revisiting all topic brainstorms, we found a phrase that fits perfectly, which is how the nervous system keeps score. Have you ever heard of that, David?
I just from reading it this morning.
I thought so.
Well, I know it. It lines
but
up with.
You do know
Makes sense.
why this matters now more than ever.
Oh, absolutely.
Because winter is hard, holidays
Oh, I know what I
can
was
be
thinking. What I was
overwhelming.
thinking was when I wasn't well enough to take care of myself and make the best decisions, you came in and helped me. And if I didn't have the right if I don't have you around me, the wrong decisions during this time will end me up in a hospital somewhere. As it always has.
Well, as you guys can tell, today's topic is going to be heavy. So we're
Heavy.
gonna
You know what?
do our
I
best to
think
keep
of
it
a
light.
collective soul song
But
when you say heavy.
But the thing is that's why, because so many, okay, so how about the fact that we are more connected than we've ever been and people are lonelier than they've ever been before? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
You're talking to
I'm
me?
trying to stay on topic.
I'm singing
Yeah.
a collective soul
I know,
song.
but you fell out of the conversation in the meantime.
That happens sometimes. Oh, okay. Tell me what's going on.
All right. So winter is hard. Holidays can be overwhelming, and many people feel
And I got an
more
empty
alone
cup here.
today than they did 10 or 20 years ago. And
Hey, I don't feel that way
unfortunately,
anymore, Fru.
even our young people are struggling with stress-related issues and self-harm. So today we are going deep because we know that we are going to talk to a lot of people about stress and what stress does and how stress works and just your nervous system and what the things are that we can do
If she can get you laid down on a
to help each
yoga
other
mat,
and help ourselves.
quiet your mind, and then listen to what she has to say for a little bit, it'll change the way you. That's what changed me, Fru. I'm so happy that I married you.
Me too.
I mean, if I wouldn't have waken up in 2018 in that hospital room and saw you in there doing your energy stuff on me.
Energy kung fu.
Oh man,
Ninja energy.
I mean, from the beginning,
Starting
of
to
knowing
call me
you,
a holistic shaman.
I caught she's my shaman, man. I'm like, what in the heggy did the Lord send in this place?
No wonder everybody was confused about what I was really doing.
Man, I needed help, and he sent the best.
Let's clarify it today.
Right. So that's what we should introduce ourselves
What everybody should know is that your body is not betraying you. It's telling the truth. You never had the safety to say to yourself, probably even, which is why often we lie to ourselves about how we are doing and how well we actually are.
Yeah, that's a big one, ain't it? How are you feeling today? I'm okay. How are you? Good.
But in reality, trauma doesn't disappear. It just relocates into patterns unless we recognize those patterns and figure out a way to change them. We are not going to change, and trauma can eat us up.
Absolutely.
Alive.
Let me ask you something, since I think you're like the chief at this. How did you get me to change my lifestyle to do certain things that if I wouldn't have done it, I wouldn't be here
It was
today?
real easy because I found hope in a situation that seemed really, really
you find hope?
hopeless. So, the fact that you had a positive outlook on life and a willingness
Oh, I
to
had a
change.
Jesus freak family too.
So,
helped,
and there was an environment that was supportive to the changes that
yeah,
you
you
needed
got
to
believe
go
in
through.
Jesus. You have to have some kind of imagination. See, we're all a human beings.
Well, if you really
have an
believe in
imagination.
Jesus, you want to change.
Yeah,
So that's why.
But it begins up in
family
here.
was
So brain injuries.
attractive.
I think that you said something to me from the beginning that it wouldn't have happened to a better person to lose the memory and all the stuff that happened in my life because of my belief in Jesus.
Because you came back to a wonderful family, but you were disconnected from that family at the moment when I met you, and that was due to several traumatic brain injuries that caused your nervous system being messed up. And, talking about the trauma not disappearing, there are situations like David's was where it's not likely going to change on its own. So
it wouldn't have. That's what I keep rolling through my head today.
And that's why
Fru.
we're talking about this today.
That's why I believe
as we approach the holidays, everybody gets busier and more absorbed.
You got your own inner circle life.
In their
someone like
daily
broken off from everything.
Stuff to do. And then we start to forget about all the people who are sitting at home feeling lonely, have a bunch more stress than we imagine they do.
Or they have a like an outside life that they have to go see their kids or their family or the people every holiday. They have to all this pressure to go see everybody,
and they're not feeling
they're
well.
not well.
Yeah,
so they have
exactly.
to make it look like they're well. And
so it requires a lot of energy from them.
A lot of
that
anxiety, all
causes
kinds
a
of-
lot of stress. So the nervous system keeps score even when the mind moves on.
Son, I'm telling you, God, my pastor said that God is the best record keeper you'll see. I said, I believe him. I believe my pastor. And your body is created by God. It keeps score.
So what I saw
It
in
doesn't
you
forget.
when I met you was that you were not active socially. You were not active
Unless I was drunk.
enough mentally. You were not connected with the people who wanted you to change.
And you couldn't be drunk.
If any of you ever felt like that before, then please lean in, because this is exactly what we're going to talk about today.
Get a little closer.
So your autonomic nervous system stores anything that felt unsafe, whether it's a tone, whether it's somebody's energy, whether it's a typical sensation or particular sensation. You don't vote on this, it records automatically. And so like when you and I started to ride together in Denver, one of the things that I noticed was that if a white car passed our car, then you were like
I was saying,
screaming,
hey, what's happening, man?
or like hiding, or like doing like things that were completely involuntary, I believed. So yes.
I probably had a lot of moments where this left arm went up over my face, and if it wouldn't have, that clipboard that hit me here in the cheek and broke this, and this.
Right, you were hiding a part of your face. That's for sure
that
happened.
Was probably
well, it's so I don't know if you knew this, but
I didn't know it until you told me.
vagus nerve. I haven't told you this yet.
Oh.
I don't think. So the vagus nerve sends 90%. Hello.
Excuse me. Can I move that out of the way a little bit?
Why?
Because I got a board here to work some cool sound effects.
Yeah, but I don't have
stuff.
a place to put this anywhere.
You need to put it up there on your healing room.
I can't read it from there or flip it.
Come on, I'll get it going.
Okay.
I have all this. There you go.
Oh my goodness.
Do it.
I don't know. We don't need this. Okay, so.
She's not letting me have any fun, even though I'm in the darkest storms, and I'm doing good. You know that? I think we should talk about humor.
Okay,
humor in the dark side.
All right, there you go. All right, so 90% of the signals that go through the vagus nerve are actually coming from the body towards the brain,
and that comes through the gut.
Only 10%.
Talk to me about it, sis.
Right. Well, that's part of it, but vagus nerve goes everywhere in the body. So technically, that's why it's called vagus.
So it's got like a Wi-Fi Bluetooth connection to the whole body.
So it has access to the whole body more than any other nerves that I know of. So what happens is that the body sends these signals to the brain, and so that's why this touch or the certain tone or whatever makes you feel in the way how it does. Not because you're crazy, not because you're just you're a crazy traumatized person. It's your body stores the memory of the trauma.
Man, I like this.
And then it sends signals to your brain, and then your brain sends about 10% back through your vagus nerve. And so now you're doing stuff, in that 10% that, again, you were not thinking about.
Oh, could that be the blackout stuff? The 10%? Man. Where I'm
talking about
out?
the information flowing through the
I'm
vagus nerve.
also
90% goes to the brain, and then 10% goes out of the brain. That's all I was saying.
Oh, I had a vision then.
So
I'll have to remind me later.
And then it plays out differently with people who traumatized because they are in this hyper alert system, right? So like they are more they are, for example, sensitive to sudden moves. Okay. Oh, by the way, I never checked, but are we getting any comments that?
Oh, I haven't looked.
We needed to.
Yeah, I guess. Sorry about that. Chattertons. There's not usually any. No.
There's not usually any.
I didn't want anyone to chat with us. How in the world would they get a word in?
All right, so
too busy trying to figure out what we're talking about.
So for people who are hyper alert, there would be people with anxiety, that could people with TBI or CTE or something like that. They're gonna react.
PTSD,
yes, absolutely. They're gonna react differently. They're gonna be more sensitive.
Yeah, I get it.
That's why even the tiniest triggers can feel huge.
Yeah. And
because survival moves faster than logic,
absolutely.
fight or flight, the freeze or fawn are gonna happen without us even noticing it. So talking about what fawning means, right? That's one of the things that we both were looking at this morning and thinking that this kind of sounds like it applies to our lives. Fawning means people pleasing for survival. And it's when your nervous system tries to avoid danger by becoming overly agreeable, accommodating, soft, or nice. And it's not a personal threat, it's a survival reflex. So I've seen this many times, and I've seen, for example, teenagers getting angry at their parents for portraying this kind of behavior. And the reason why I thought it would be important to talk about it, because when we're talking about CTE or neurodegenerative diseases, this is something that is actually what's sort of suggested for caregivers when they're dealing with somebody with a neurodegenerative disease.
Is to fawn.
Is to fawn.
Fawn, man!
No matter what's going on, just agree,
Yes!
Like, just do whatever you do.
I had to let her come up with this on her own, by the way. I didn't talk her into that, but this is what I was yelling about from the beginning and back in Indiana when I was trying to communicate with all you guys and I couldn't. I'd scream at my dad. I'm making him have a heart attack, and I'm a wreck. A wreck. We didn't know what was going on with me, but everyone thought they did. And I'm screaming. I'm trying to express myself. Can't do it. I'd go sit down and write about it. And it's this. Well, hey, I'm crippled right now, so you guys, buck up and deal with it this way, and that was fawning. I was trying to explain.
Yeah, it's interesting because this is not very chic, if you know what I mean. So the majority of society, when they see you fawning, they will tell you that you're weak, and then you need to get out of that situation no matter what's going on, and then if you get hurt, it's your fault and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, Dad, the world's also set up to make you work really hard, get you to meet certain quotas, then all of a sudden have you work quotas that are not meetable, and then make you feel like a failure and cut you loose.
Well, yeah, we're not going to get down deep in the subject, but
I'm telling you.
That is true.
So I'm not concerned with
society likes to make you feel like you're worthless for different reasons.
So you got to learn this fawning technique as like right here. I'm in the middle of a radio show that I finally, because of the torment I'm going through, I had to figure out a better way to see us visually, because get my head to see that. Like I have to change the view, the perception, and so I changed the camera up. And that part of it is me sitting in here and not having to look in a camera. I'm not feeling well. I don't want to look at none of this, but I'll sit here and talk about it. Let's get through it. That's fawning.
That's fun.
Yes, I'm telling you. You learn how to do okay, and what helped me was changing the camera out here. Otherwise, I wouldn't feel real comfortable, but I like looking across it.
This may be confusing for some people. So David took the word fawning and
applied it to my life.
Created an abstract meaning that describes one of his experiences. That's actually not what fawning is. I just
lost it completely.
That fawning is something that a caregiver would do when they try to prevent storms, or when they try to keep harmony in the home, when they minimize themselves to avoid setting of a cycle.
You still got audio?
Yes,
I lost all audio. Well, there we go.
You got it back?
Nope.
Would you want to check the cables?
No, I don't need it. As long as you can hear me, I don't have to hear me.
Okay, well, I prefer you hear you because you
I just don't have any more. I don't have any more.
The volume the control in you seems to be off sometimes, and then my,
your poor little ears bleed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Fru. I really am sorry.
Well, just be soft.
I will.
Boy. Just fawn, please.
Fawn. Yes. Not real fawning, but my fawning. I'm fawning.
So people living with brain injury may also fawn when they're exhausted or confused. So this is how it applies to your case. I can pull, many examples from past history where you would just say, I don't feel like talking, just because when you don't talk, you don't have to try to understand what the other person is saying, and you don't have to
Worry
like
about
talk
what they
back
heard, what I said.
and how to say something that you like to say.
I
and all
just say it, and it always
so
comes out the wrong
fawning
way.
doesn't mean you're fake. It means you're adapted, or it means you're exhausted, and either is okay as long as you recognize that pattern and you know what's a good thing to do.
Yeah, I sit myself down in a recliner, and I can watch the heck out of Netflix and Hulu, and I can get through a surgery. I can get through a.
So David chooses, like binge watching, but as a wellness coach, it's really
She
not
can't
what he
stand it.
should be, like promoting. But that's okay. I'm gonna tell you
Tell all
that
the other good things that I do for-
exercising and meditating and doing heart brain coherence would actually help you a lot more.
I think I do
in
that 3 times a day
situation.
now. For,
Which one?
HRV.
Oh, you do it 3 times a day now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. So that's why you're doing so good every time when we measure it.
4.2. Not no 9.7, but hey, I'll
Yeah,
get there.
exactly. And I don't do it every day,
I
3
know.
times. So
I've seen yours down at the
so
Walmart.
you
too.
should measure
should
it
do it
sometimes
together.
when you. No, we
Yeah.
always do it
Exactly.
together because
That's
you
why I
never
get
do
3 a
it by
day.
yourself.
Absolutely
No, you
not.
don't get 3 a day. I don't even do it every day. Just stop
So
it.
if you don't do it
So
every day,
anyways,
don't be telling
fawning
me
doesn't
what
mean
to
you're
do.
fake. It means you adapted. And when the nervous system heals and feels safer, the fawning reflex reduces. That's why neuroplasticity is important. And HRV training can help you with neuroplasticity, by the way.
Oh, really?
So regulating your nervous system gives you an opportunity to create new thoughts, new ways of looking at things, and new habits.
Well,
New
I'd like
emotions,
to
too.
point out that if you're having, like, who you surround yourself with, a lot of times you're left completely alone if you're at it depends on what part of this disease you're at, with TBI and CTE, but if you're completely alone already, it's going to be really difficult to rebuild relationships.
Even with yourself.
Yes, just
True.
you got to be patient, and but you got to get somebody around you. I know that the condition I was in can be reversed, but it took somebody that was intentional, stayed with me and intentionally to get me better. That was the goal. No matter what we went through, she wanted to see me get better, and that turned into falling in love with me. And who wouldn't? I mean, come on, look at this guy. I'm like this old.
I've fallen in love with
Fall.
you.
I'm an old, washed-up rock and roller with a bald spot. You never knew how. I'm surprised that these people don't realize that's a bald spot.
Well, you didn't seem to have a bald spot when I met you, and you wear hats a lot of times, so I don't really have anything to say about bald spots. Sorry. Some people get a wig. I don't really care.
I just shave my head and
You
put
want
a hat
some of
on.
this?
No, I like your hair a lot, Fru.
All right, so why some people feel everything deeper? There's a whole lot of talking
There's a
about
whole
empaths,
lot
right?
of
And all
talking.
that kind of stuff. So I understand. But scam mode is, if somebody is hyper vigilant, it's again not a weakness. It's something that can happen due to trauma. And, realizing somebody's patterns before they happen is normal too. So fawning is normal too. So don't make a big deal out of somebody agreeing with somebody who has behavioral and mood issues.
Yes.
Well, okay.
How did you deal with my mood issues and behavioral issues, Fru? I mean, we recorded all
I
this.
knew that
but
there
give
was
me
hope
some-
for change. And so, speaking of hope, I would actually like to say right now that on the 7th of January from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., we have a wellness workshop in New Albany that we're calling Healing Touch, because we are actually going to combine the healing properties of 24 karats gold with the crystal singing bowls, well, not just crystal, the singing bowls and the sound bath that we've been using as therapy in the past 7 years is going to, yeah, that's great. Just keep it right there. I'm gonna go ahead and post this on my Facebook too, so all of you can come and check it out. If you're local, if you're near New Albany, Mississippi. This is a completely free event, and we would love for you to come.
And you know
join
something?
us.
I still come to these, even though I'm going through this month of November stuff. I'm excited that I got the right person, because our vision's greater to build a community of healing folks. And that's where it started. It was right here having one person. So
All right. So the brain rewrites the person.
the brain rewrites the person.
Yeah, that means your nervous system. I like to say you have a nervous system posturing. Your nervous system creates certain traits that look like personality traits. But people who know a lot about CT or TBI or trauma, as a matter of fact, can understand that how a person can mute or magnify emotions, distort memories, or delay patterns, delay responses because of them being hurt, like injured, like actually carrying an injury inside that nobody really can see.
Mm-hmm.
But it created a dysfunctional neurological posturing is like kind of like how I see it. Is like how their system runs energy through, and what kind of thoughts they feed, and what kind of emotions they go through, and how often, and all that kind of stuff. So we have to keep that in mind, that this is where neuroplasticity is a really, really important topic, because our brain does have the ability to grow. And when it grows, these new neural pathways are created. And that's what actually helped you so much. You remember how like giggly and like all over the place you were, like, in the first, I
had brand new roadway. I had a whole new map GPS'd out that covered everything.
Because of that, because you were like, neuroplasticity naturally gives you that energy of like, holy cow, I'm in heaven already, and I haven't even died yet.
I was running on cloud 9 for a long time.
Exactly. So that was a quick example, and probably a good one.
It lasted for several years.
But this may sound familiar for those of here listening who have TBIs or suspect that they have CTE or some sort of a neurodegenerative disease. I can imagine that you guys see stuff like that periodically in your life, which is a good thing. Remember that if you have that season of like experience having too many aha moments, then your brain is most likely healing.
And you know what's very, very I'm confident in the fact that making good decisions for your body when you eat, intentional, and being disciplined in saying no to the things that are bad for you, things they just change. And in the beginning, I don't know that I would have. I know that I wouldn't have started eating the correct food. I was living off of food that I got free from food banks, and I had no. That was my livelihood. I didn't have one. I was barely able to take care of myself. And when Fru come along and started changing the way I ate, it changed everything for me. And so, if you don't have someone to care for you, the one thing that you can do for yourself, I put it on my Facebook last week, is drink enough water. And then the second thing is to watch everything you put in your mouth. Think about it. Your brain is going to either thrive off of it or struggle with it.
But if you listen to your body is actually going to tell you. So that's why I really like journaling and recording and paying attention to how your digestion is and how you sleep and how much energy you have throughout the day, because those are all telling you when something that you do, is it good, is it bettering you, or is it actually weakening you?
Oh yeah, keeping track of it.
Okay, so what actually helps, and so I'm trying to give like a few tools here to people so that they can go ahead and start regulating the nervous system and rewrite those patterns, and find a life that's like more manageable and less at the risk of disappearing. So breathing is definitely breathing, and I remember, I don't know if you remember, but
that's one of the first things you taught me.
Yeah, so that's very, very important. We have to find that confidence,
and it's free
inside.
It's the freest part of the
inside ourselves. Like for example, the mind. You can really hear God talking to you when your mind is not calm. And that's something that really is not taught very well in like Christian circles. So I know that we have listeners here who, you know, love Jesus and think meditation is only spiritual if you're reading scripture or listening to scripture, but this is not true. There are ways of calming the nervous system, which one of them is there are several breathing techniques, which David is demonstrating right now. And, you know, certain type of stretches and certain type of exercises can also, well, actually, let me put it this way. When I say exercise, people may think of different things. Coordinated movement with breath that is also coordinated. This is my personal experience. So whether that's Tai Chi, whether that's Vinyasa yoga, whether that's a stretching routine that I'm doing and I'm combining the movement with a breath, I can feel different afterwards.
That's it. You hit a home run just then, Fru.
So the predictable rhythms and the quiet windows are important so that you can wind down. The quiet windows are important so that you can wind down. And the predictable rhythms, David, you tell why that's important, because you've been so big on having a routine and getting dinner at the same time and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I lose consciousness, so it makes me if I have everything going exactly the same and I'm off schedule for something goes out of whack, like that isn't normally there, that's a sign or a flag I can put up for you to be able to go, oh, he's not here. And so that's one of the reasons why I was so big on it. And another one was that when I was blacked out, if I kept those things going, I know I'm healthy inside, and it was something to watch how I went from blacking out, not knowing where I was, and coming to and finding out all this bad stuff I had done or said started to change. The more I lived, the more after I met you, from that point forward, like my world I was off the deep end right before I met you. Literally, I was a different character. You saw that.
So this is a lot like, I'm just seeing an image, so I'm going to tell you right now that a plant that you take care of, if you don't do it routinely, that plant is not going to be as healthy as if you do.
It helped me a lot.
And we have to send that signal to our own bodies that we're taking care of it, or it's taken care of. Otherwise, if it's gonna think it's declining.
Well, memory is one of the things that goes, renew. And so when your memory's going, if you can keep track of stuff and repetition,
and you can predict what's happening.
Like I find out that I did this, I did all the same things that I normally would do. It's showing that I'm doing healthy even when I'm not connected to my body.
Well, there's another thing that I found out recently since I've been working on time management, is that the predictable rhythms basically allow you to think less about stuff that doesn't matter. So like you don't have to wonder about whether or not, you know, you're eating dinner today. So like you don't have to wonder about what time. Like you can just set a time and just be like, okay, this is when I start preparing. This is when I start serving. This is when I'm eating.
Well, that's what happens when you get put in a stabilization unit. So you got to imagine if you're getting unstable, and the one thing that they're going to do is get you on that schedule. So you eat breakfast at the same time, you eat lunch at the same time, and they do that repetitively right away when you go in. And so that's one thing that stabilizes you is routines. And that's what a lot of folks like me miss, is a routine, because we lost it. You know, when I was living on the streets, I didn't get up and take a dump and sit quietly in my bathroom and think about what the day looked like, take a shower, brush my teeth. No. You get happy as all get out if you found a shower. It took, I don't know.
Anywhere.
You just didn't get showers unless you spent money on a motel.
pattern interruption is another helpful thing, and in case you don't think you have an example for
Yeah,
that,
you guys can't believe I was homeless like that one time.
I have to tell you, David, that we went to Denver,
Who did?
Colorado.
You and I?
You and I, we went to Denver, Colorado at the end of October, exactly at the, almost exactly like the last week of October.
I remember that.
And so what you may not remember, I hope that you would remember that, but what you may not remember is that that's that time of the year when your mood started to get really, really, really,
That's what I said. I'm sitting in this chair all day long.
And oops, I just
Not
hit
going
this,
nowhere.
I think, by an accident. So I don't know if I messed anything up. You may want to make sure that I didn't. So what happened with that is that we changed environment completely for that time when periodically, normally, your mood starts to get less regulated.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up really helping.
Yeah, just kind of switched right
just
over into sitting
changing,
in the chair
because
here,
that
huh?
whole setting on the changing and everything, you were not frustrated about it. Like, you were like totally just accepting the fact that, and you had things to do, but like not as much you would have done if we were at home. So that just created like a completely different
Disconnected me from
regulation
everything I was
system
already on,
for
yeah.
you, like on a daily basis. So it
So actually, this last month of me sitting in that chair is what I needed to do, and it's
Right.
kept
Rest
us
is
kept
really,
us safe. I don't have
sleep
any.
and rest are really, really important.
Yeah, and I have slept a lot, haven't I?
Right.
Man, I'm
And
falling asleep at like 7 o'clock at night. And
yeah, it's also very possible that the reason, previous years you couldn't sleep that much around that time of the year because there was always something going on that
fired up about something.
you had to do. Well, no, you were not fired up, but you were surrounded with people who were fired up and wanted to make you go, do stuff, and acted like you were lazy if you were laying around and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
And
man.
so that's very
That's
possible.
no wonder I feel
That's
lazy
very
if I sit in the
possible
chair
that
too
that's why we saw more rage back then, other than, the different protocols that we're doing with redox signaling molecules and
Time
vitamins
keeps on ticking,
and that kind of
ticking,
stuff.
ticking.
But
Into
that
the
disappeared.
future.
And luckily this year you were able to just sit on your chair all November. And that wonderful. I'm such a nice wife.
Yeah, you are. So fantastic. I'm so glad that I've been married to Virginia Sapphire.
All right. So talking about how this meets, faith, because we've been talking about biology a whole lot. And I have to go back to there where we're talking about meditation does not equal reading scripture. So when I say meditation, I talk about nervous system regulation.
Yeah.
And
you can do meditation where you're meditating on the word, and you can do meditation where you meditate on the human body and what needs to be healed on it. It's powerful.
There is meditation when you can just tune into what God wants to tell you. But if you don't tune into it, you're not going to hear him, because when your nervous system is not regulated and you're not even able to relax or just think about something good, he doesn't have the opportunity to talk to you. So
she's so right.
Fear plus faith use the same channels, which really we were talking about, that everything happens between these two ears.
Yeah.
So whether you're fearing or wanting to hear from God or talking to God, these are all personal choices to a certain extent. I understand that your nervous system may be like in the stock mode.
Right. But if I can look, what should give you hope is if you just knew where I was 7 years ago, anybody can get better. I was messed up.
And even if you're stuck right now, I was stuck once, and my nervous system wasn't my enemy. It's my historian, it's my record keeper, it's a part of myself that can be renewed on demand.
Yeah.
So I want you guys to notice one pattern this week. that comes from this conditioning of your nervous system. Just one. If you have trouble with figuring out what that is, well, reach out to us.
Reach out.
Because we all need somebody in our life who can help us to figure this out, right?
Yep. Well, I hope that we say something every week that I got to come on here and talk when I don't feel good. I say, Lord, please help me to say something that would help somebody get through what I couldn't hardly go through on my last 2017, 2018, I survived self-harm. So I've been all the way down to the bottom, like for 2 years in a row, and I'm back up here. So that's hope for you. And I'd like to say thanks.
Thank you.
Again, to the Patrick Christian CTE Awareness Foundation for their continued support. Please go to stopcte.org and visit their website and learn how you can stop CTE. It's a completely preventable disease. And
if today hit home for you, come and join us inside Wellness Tuners, our free VIP Facebook community. That's where we go deeper on these topics.
Keep going further.
Answer your questions on the spot and give you the tools you can use right away.
I would love to help chime in and read what goes on at the end, but you're hogging it all. You don't have to navigate the nervous system war alone. Come be a part of a family, all right? A bunch of us. Healing isn't magic, but God definitely uses biology.
Stay unburied.
Stay unburied, all right? Don't think about it. Don't even think about it.